Legal analyst Danny Cevallos. Danny, good morning. So Laura laid it all out there. How do you sum up this time on the stand for the former president?
Chaotic. I'm reminded of when you're in court, and it's usually state court, sometimes someone from the court next door will come over and elbow you and say, hey, pro se plaintiff or pro se defendant testifying. And people shuffle in there because it's always entertaining for the onlookers, but not entertaining for the trial participants or the judge. And that reminds me a lot of Trump's testimony. He's taking matters into his own hands. He obviously has concluded that the judge is going to rule against him no matter what. So what the heck? He's going to take an opportunity to grandstand, even though there aren't cameras in the courtroom. He knows what he says will be reported out, and he thinks it probably will help him politically. And obviously it doesn't help him legally in the case.
So, no, bearing in mind what you just said, him kind of taking matters into his own hands, what are you seeing play out for defense strategy here, whether it be the former president himself and what he thinks he's going to get done on the stand, or what his team is now kind of doing around that testimony?
Well, the big question is which defense strategy, because there's the defense attorney's strategy, which is based on the law, and then there's Trump's strategy, which is based on whatever it is he based his strategy on, maybe political, maybe chaos, who knows? But the point is, this is the classic client. Trump has almost redefined the client who doesn't take attorney's direction. It's kind of baked into the deal when you sign on to represent Donald Trump. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if at this point his attorneys don't even advise him to behave himself on the stand or outside of the courtroom, which is something attorneys often have to do with clients who are a little bit, well, they want to take matters into their own hands. But Trump, you know, from the outset, he's got his own plan, and all you can do is try the case that you want to try as an attorney and hope that Trump doesn't derail it too much with his own ideas.
So this trial is not supposed to wrap up until just before Christmas. Trump was not cross-examined yesterday, though this was sort of the main event. Is there a scenario where he takes the stand again? And what else are we keeping an eye out for in the coming weeks?
Oh, possibly. I mean, maybe on rebuttal. I wouldn't be surprised. And we're looking out, obviously, for Ivanka Trump. And then you'll go back to some witnesses that may not be splashy in terms of headlines. But I suggest that the witnesses who you haven't heard that much about are really the most important witnesses. Last week, for example, the government had an expert who testified about valuation, about the actual dollar benefit to the Trump defendants from allegedly falsifying values, whether in the up direction or the down direction. That's pretty compelling evidence for the judge. Remember, there is no jury. But I mean, this week and last week with the Trump sons and Trump himself, certainly splashy, but good chance this case may be the last time you see Donald Trump take the stand in any of these cases, because this is a civil case. He has no obligation to take the stand in his criminal cases, and he probably shouldn't. It would be against attorneys' advice, but